Good evening, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome. Welcome to our soul reflection, where we come to you from the heart and share with you whatever we are given by the cosmic Christ to allow us understand the mystery around this amazing event associated with 2012. And as we come into the name of love, let us gather in our sacred oasis where there is peace. For peace is achievable and obtainable once we surrender our heart to love. And I invite you now to allow me into your space, so that together we can embrace a loving God, a God who wishes to set us free from fear, from negativity, from enslavement to ego and self, and just be that beautiful child that was created in love for love. For we are a child of the Beloved. And embracing Christ consciousness is about reawakening the divine within our heart, within our soul, within our being. So let us come now, and let us be still. For the path to God isn't always easy. As you and I both know, it's strewn with many trials, disappointments, setbacks, difficulties. But at the same time, there is support. So let us call on that support. And that support is the company of heaven. Those who've gone before us with the messengers of God, who do not represent religion, for they were created before religion. The angels, the archangels, and all the nature spirits with Mother Earth. For God is present everywhere, not just in heaven. For me, as a Franciscan monk, I believe that God is present on earth too. And you only have to look at creation and see the beauty, the amazing array of color. Therein lies the beauty of God. So our theme for the 7th of November, Wednesday the 7th of November, the gift of life, the music of the universe. Wow, the music of the universe. Well, let me read my notes, and then we shall conclude with a short meditation, reawakening the heart to love. There are things that we must see in relation to ourselves if we are to live at all. For instance, food is to us rightly and naturally that which we eat. And if we grow cabbages, we are necessarily in a relation of use to them. But there are other things that we cannot understand at all if we see them only in the relationship of use. Let me explain. For instance, music. If I listen to one of the many symphonies that I love, especially the ones by Beethoven, expecting it to give me some information of use to myself, information that will help me to increase my income or cure my indigestion from rushing a meal to try and go and help someone in distress, I shall not hear the music at all, and it will be to me a mere chaos of sounds. The music does not exist to give me useful information. True, to perceive, it will profit me. I shall have the delight of experiencing beauty. But the paradox of the process is this, that I shall not experience the beauty if I try to experience it with an eye to my own profit. For in that case, I shall have certain expectations and make certain demands of my own upon it. Not perhaps that it shall increase my income or cure my indigestion, but that it shall give me just the kind of pleasure I expect of it. If I am to experience the music as it is, I must forget about myself and all my demands and expectations, and allow myself to fall in love with it. If I can, I must allow that relation, which is the music, to happen to me. Now, according to Christ, the universe in its nature is not like cabbages that we grow for our own kitchens. It is like music. Its reality consists in a relation that is not a relation of use to us at all. And we must get ourselves and our own wants and demands and expectations out of the way if we are to be aware of that reality. But further, to be aware of that reality, of the music of the universe, is the highest good of all. And it brings the highest happiness, for it awakens the divine within us to sing. Francis got it right when he created the beautiful canticle of the creatures, dedicated to Brother Sun and Sister Moon and the animal kingdom. And to this very day, the Sisters of St. Clare, who lived the contemplative life as vegetarian, barefoot Franciscan contemplatives, when they danced the canticle of the creatures on his feast day, they do so with such joy. They're performing a whirling dervish routine. They are dancing their little hearts out and allowing their soul embrace God through the beauty of the music, the beauty of the words, the beauty of the language of love. And Christ himself invites us to celebrate, doesn't he? He invites us to celebrate the gifts that God has given us. The gifts of love, the gifts of peace, the gifts of fellowship, the gifts of friendship. But the gift of music is a powerful gift. For when I hear the harp being played, I go into ecstasy. I love the harp. I tried learning to play the harp 3 years ago, but I had to abandon it because of having a little puppy. And she'd taken a shine to the harp, which was worth £2,000, and I had rented it. But one day soon I will resume my studies, and I shall sit in my silence with God and strum the harp, for that becomes the prayer. I allow the divine within my soul to work through my fingers. And I do that sometimes when I'm driving. I'll suddenly just start singing, and I won't know what I'm singing, but I'm singing. And the words are all gobbledygook, double Dutch in fact, but I'm singing. And the fact that I'm singing, I'm allowing my sadness to become joy. Music is a gift that God has given us. Even creation is music to God. The blades of grass wafting in the wind, that is a gift. That is music. When we watch the branches sway in the winds, it gives off a silence, it gives off an echo. Even the birds, when they're singing to one another in spring, it's music. Music is part of 2012. Music liberates the heart. Where there is singing and music, there is great rejoicing in heaven. Think about it. Because music is a wonderful gift from God to us. When you look at an orchestra and the numerous instruments being played, each with a different sound, Beethoven got it right. And many of the world's great composers, most of them were deaf. Some of them went blind. And they wrote the most exquisite compositions. But that was their prayer. Their prayer to God was through their orchestra, when they brought this eclectic arrangement of notes, and they allowed the notes sing. Creation, though dull at the moment, is struggling because of the negative energy in the world. Man's inhumanity to man. Many are struggling to even hear music because they're so overwhelmed in their heart with sadness, with friction, with confusion. Many are struggling financially because of the global crisis. And those who have young children, it must be a real struggle. But you know, when you come into your quiet space and you sit in the presence of God, and you call on God to assist you, help comes. Trust me. My back has been to the wall many, many times in my life. And there were times in my life when I honestly thought that my God had abandoned me. But guess what? I discovered the beautiful poem, The Footprints. Have you read it? Well, part of that poem says, the footprints that you noticed in the sand, you thought they were yours. They weren't. Jesus said they were mine. It was I who carried you. So let us come to a different understanding of music. Music prepares the heart, especially now, to relax, to unwind, and to get into a safe place where we can be still with God, where we can relax and be one with God. It allows the tired mind to be still, and it allows us to hear the words of the Beloved speak to us. And the words that I cherish so often, that come to me so often are, come to me, all you who labor and are heavily burdened, for I will give you rest. I often hear those words in my heart when I sit down and I listen to a gentle piece of music, like the music I'm playing now. You sense the presence and peace of God. You sense the love of God, present, touching you. And now more than ever, because we are approaching 2012, especially the 21st of December, the end of the Piscean era, the beginning of the dawn of Aquarius. It's not New Age. It's not Old Age. It's the new beginning of enlightenment, when the rays of the cosmic Christ will flood this earth plane with so much love and dispel the forces of evil And these words were predicted, weren't they, 2,000 years ago, when Jesus said, I will return. I will return. It's been foretold. It's been written about. Many of us who've surrendered our heart to God know, but we're not allowed to defend what is happening. We're not allowed to engage in conversation, except to empower you come into your heart and ask God what is happening. So for you to get into that place and for you to hear in your being, in your heart, what is God saying to you? Many struggle hearing. Many struggle listening to God because oftentimes they're hearing their own voice. They're hearing their egoic personality dictate to them that this is silly, that this is nonsense. But it's truth, and you know it's truth. So music, the music of the universe and the animal kingdom are great facilitators for us now, because nature is ascending. Nature is evolving into our own being of love. But Gaia, Mother Earth, wants you and I to work with her. But so many have chosen not to, because they rape the earth of her resources and put nothing back. And if you want an example, look at the rainforests, deforestation, how mankind is destroying the lungs of the universe. So let us bring some music into our life. Let us bring love. Let us bring peace and joy. Let us learn to sing again. Whatever we feel in our heart, let us share that through music. Animals make music. When I sit with the 3 dogs quietly after this recording, I will go and unwind and just gather my thoughts, and they will come to me, and they will want their ears rubbing and their little back and the little tail is going. And you know what's so lovely? You can hear them murmuring in their own language. You can hear them raise their little murmurings to a different octave, as if they're singing, as if they're saying, I'm so content with you, Daddy. And it's the same with all of us who love animals. For example, early this evening, I was making some fish pies to go in the freezer. And I'd been out today to buy some pieces of different types of fresh fish. Because I'm told I make a mean fish pie, but I make it with love. But interestingly, the containers that I bought the fish in from the supermarket, I was putting them in the recycling bin in the garage. And out of the blue, I heard a little murmur. And it was like I don't know if it was a stray cat, but it was a beautiful little thing. And I'd never seen her before. And I looked through the hedging and there was this little white and black face. And it was meowing. She smelt the fish from the container. And I thought, nature is amazing. Nature is music. And that split second, I felt an affinity with that little animal. And I started murmuring and wittering on to her as much as they come closer and I'll give you something to eat. But then she heard the 3 dogs barking and off she went. So nature is preparing for Christ consciousness. And the animal kingdoms know within us who's preparing for the cosmic Christ. Why do I say that? Because they're clinging to us. They're clinging to us because they know we know something and it makes us feel at peace. And the animals want to be around that peace. And you've often heard the tale, and this is true. Animals are a great judge of character. I know you're saying, Brother Sean, you've lost it. Maybe I am. But animals are. a great judge of character. They can tell who is in love with the animal kingdom, who likes animals and who is not. They can tell who's honorable and who's not. And if an animal doesn't take to someone, for me that's a good sign to be on my guard and not to say too much. I had a beautiful Westie dog here that was put to sleep 5 years ago. It broke my heart because she was only 8 years old. But she worked with me when clients came here over the last 10 years who had been sexually abused. I didn't know what was wrong with them. But many clients struggled to tell me that they had been abused as a child. So Shimola would go and sit with them. And she had a way with her head. And it's as if she was saying to me, here is a beautiful child of God that's been abused. And the client would say to me, I'm struggling to tell you what happened to me. I said, no need, the dog has told me. Well, they'd look at me. I said, yes. Well, what has the dog told you? I said, the dog has told me that you'd been sexually abused as a child. And then they'd start crying. And the healing process began. So the animal kingdom have their own internal music. Like we have Beethoven, Chopin, all the great musicians. So let us come now, and let us allow the heart to make some music, so that we can hear the cosmic Christ speak to us. What is he saying to us? What does he want us to do to prepare for this amazing event in the history of civilization and God's children? Well, first, let us turn the lights down. Let's change the music. Let's find something soft, something more in keeping with a meditation. And I'm glad it's not that wasp that came back, because when I was doing morning prayer this morning, I had this wasp. Thankfully it flew off. So let us come to the table of love. Let us come together to this table of love. And let us feel the love and the peace of God. A peace that transcends all understanding. A peace that is within every child of God. But many lose it because they go back into their head. Let us sit at this table of many blessings. And in front of us we have the cosmic Christ, the beloved, with Magdalena, with all of the ascended masters and our teachers. The company of heaven are present in their myriads. And we are invited by Gaia to take our place, to be still, and to sense the presence of God. Let us relax now. Let us be still. Let us use our gift of free will and call on the beloved Christ. Come, Father, Mother God, in the name of the risen cosmic Christ Jesus. We ask for the fresh outpouring of your beloved Spirit to touch us right now and to allow us see the Christ and listen to his voice. Thank you, God. As we focus on our in-breaths, let us visualize breathing in love, healing love, right into the core of our being. And in our out-breath, let us release any tension or sadness, any anger, any fear. And as we continue to breathe, we do so normally to our own rhythm of breathing. And as we sit at this table, we look across and we see a young man staring at us. And our heart knows who he is. And we ask him to touch us. We ask the Christ to honor his promise that what we ask of him, that he will do for us. So across the table, he stretches his arms and his fingertips touch ours. Can you feel the current of love? We are stretching our arms and our fingers across this beautiful table. And there our fingers meet and they touch. Just close your eyes and visualize this for a moment. Both arms have stretched with fingertips touching one another. And there's an energetic exchange of love. And there's a current of the most beautiful selfless love flowing through the tips of our fingers, bypassing our wrists, our elbow, our shoulders, going right up into our head, relaxing the tension, the stress, and shooting down, refreshing every organ in our body, down into our heart. Can you feel that love pulsating in your heart? And it continues to flow down through every part of our body, out through the tips of our toes, to Gaia, and we are the tree of life. And through us the Christ is releasing love to empower you and me self-heal. To self-heal our own brokenness, our woundedness, our illnesses. But he's also using us as the sacred tree of life, and through our feet 7 roots have formed, and love has been sent to the universe to heal it. Be still and just sense the love of the Christ heal you in your mind, in your body, in your soul. And the more we breathe in, the more we sense the surge of his love coming into us in blasts of light, refreshing, healing light. And it's awakening us to come back into our power and reclaim our divinity as a beloved child of God. Can you sense the peace and the love here? Can you feel God touching you right now in your spirit, in your mind, in your body? Just allow it be. And when we have finished shortly, that love will carry on coming into you. And the more you use your mantra, I am a beloved child of God, you are allowing the healing process continue. And by saying the words, I thank you, Father, Mother God Supreme, for the Christ light in me. I thank you for continually healing me and bringing my heart back into alignment with the cosmic Christ. The word thank you is a word that society has lost today in its vocabulary. And the word thank you is a very powerful prayer. It's a prayer of gratitude. It's a prayer that facilitates God's abundance more for us. So let us say thank you now to the Christ for touching us. And the Archangel Michael places a seal of light on our fingertips, and our fingertips are brought back over our heart, where we are bathing our heart in love, in peace, in joy. Be still. Be still and know the power of God's love for you.